All right, I'm glad if everyone can see the screen. So welcome guys back. Welcome to lesson 12 of Digital Marketing 2 part-time, where the focus is going to be on the evolution of digital media. So what you're seeing here is that digital media did not just emerge just like that. It came from elsewhere. So that's what we are going to be looking at. Where did it come from? The same thing when we look at evolution of mankind by Charles Darwin, tracing where humans come from the Homo sapiens, the monkeys, and so forth. But before we dig deeper, can someone just give us an overview of what we discussed in the previous lesson? Yes, Mawe, so I see you've got your hand up.
And so just as a basic summary, we started looking at digital media and the and all the things that we also looked at a few videos about just as an overview of that. And also like with traditional and digital marketing, whether both are still relevant or like one is above the other.
Okay, that's true. Matobe, do you want to add on that, or you cool? Okay, perfect. So with this lesson then, we are going to be talking about the factors that influence the evolution and uptake of digital media. So what do you think, guys, is influencing digital media? Just out of your mind, what do you think is influencing digital media? So, of course, we've got technology. We know that technology is playing a huge part on how digital media is influenced. Do you agree with me or you differ? Remember, you can always discuss and engage. No answer is absolutely wrong.
Wait, so just repeat the question, please.
I said, what are the factors that are influencing digital media? And I just mentioned one factor, which is technology. So now I'm asking you guys that do you agree that technology does influence digital media or not?
I mean, I think that's where most of where digital media what's the word? It's where it revolves around, if that makes sense.
Okay, so we are going to be discussing that more in detail. Based on your projection, you don't have to be accurate here. So based on your projections, how much media is being consumed in South Africa? Do you think people are spending more time interacting with digital media or not?
I think it depends on on what parts of South Africa you talk about, because I think everyone, I think in different parts that there'll always be different parts that respond to different kinds of media. So you'll have one part of South Africa, maybe majority will be using digital, but then you'll have certain parts of South Africa that are still using traditional.
Okay. All right, I do get you. So the first factors that you know that are influencing digital media, as I mentioned, is technological advancements. So nowadays we've got fast internet. We talk about fiber. We talk about 5Gs, improved devices as well. We talk about your advanced models with your Android 14 or iOS 18 whatsoever. So these devices and faster internet, they are allowing customers, to get quicker information, high quality digital content, being able to stream, being able to download, being able to engage at a faster rate than before. So the widespread availability of smartphones and tablets has made digital media consumption more accessible, enabling users to engage with content anytime and anywhere. Then, of course, nowadays you also hear about artificial intelligence and cloud computing, whereby anything can now be stored online. I mean, for example, most of my stuff are on Dropbox. So cloud infrastructure allow businesses to store and distribute content globally with minimal physical infrastructure. And AI with its components like NLP, natural language processing, your machine learning, your NLU, natural language understanding, all these intelligent algorithms, play critical roles in personalizing content, targeting users, more effectively. And these technologies also enhance our user experience, driving a further uptake of digital media, enabling more sophisticated, tailored interaction. I mean, even your first your news feeds. We can be all on Facebook right now, but our feeds on that platform will be different because the algorithms are actually personalized based on what we like, how we engage, and so forth. I don't know if this is something that you can relate with at personal level.
I would say I don't know if you've done this before, like when you go on like Google and you've been searching maybe like a new car
Mm-hmm.
and you're looking for like a new car
Mm-hmm.
or maybe even something simple, a new cell phone. And then when you're on Facebook, you're gonna see ads tailored to what you were searching. I don't know if any one of you have experienced that, but I have on multiple occasions.
Yes.
Yeah, I've definitely
Yes, that's
experienced
true.
that, especially with
Even
Discovery, because I use Discovery and I see a lot of Discovery ads, especially when I'm on YouTube.
So it's the same for me. Like I find myself
yeah,
thinking, wait,
I've
how?
heard that. So
So I find myself asking myself and wondering, like, how did Facebook gather? And then that's when I also, because there was a time when Mark Zuckerberg um, was called in front of the American government to answer whether he is selling metadata to companies so that they could not just to companies but also was he a part of influencing the what was this the elections as well because he was selling metadata to companies so that they can figure out how to sway people to on votes and stuff like that.
mhm. That's true, guys. I also came across, especially from the full-time classes, where students will tell you that you search on Google signs of pregnancy. Then all of a sudden your Huggies, all stuff related to babies appear there, and it starts appearing on their social medias and stuff like that. And they say that if their parents go through their gadgets, they'll actually think maybe they are pregnant. So it's always tricky with technology nowadays, how your browser history, how you interact with platforms. Now they are now using them elsewhere. it's always tricky. Then we also have social cultural changes. So here we look at how society is evolving, demands of society. So the first, you've got consumer behavior shifts. Here you realize that over the years, consumers have moved towards a more digitally connected lifestyle with increased usage of social media. Social media is not only for entertainment or for information gathering. It's also becoming a part of a ritual that even if you're not looking for anything on social media, you are just going there for ritual purposes. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Like it's now part of a human to be on social media. Like we just feel like, you know what, let me just go and browse something, even if you're looking for information there. So it's now embedded in culture. It's more life without being online, maybe for 2 days and stuff like that. Have you ever lived without being online?
I think in today's culture that like
How far have you guys lived?
uh, uh, it's without being online. I think the online stuff started for me when I was like 2021. So for like the first 21, okay, but then before that, there was also still like Mixit
Okay.
and Make 33 and stuff like
How
that.
many years were you offline?
So I'd say yeah, maybe 21 years, but there was also a stint of like the Mixit and stuff.
But now, can you live for 3 or 4 days completely offline, like fasting?
Well, as I don't consume traditional media anymore. So for me to know exactly what's happening in this world or what's happening today, like even for me to have even seen like a budget speech or something like that, like it's all online. Like so for me to be offline for that 3 days, it would mean that I'm not speaking to anyone, and I'm not getting any information about what's happening around me. So I don't think it's necessarily possible for me right now.
So it means that you are not living at all. So now, do you see how being online is now becoming part of you as a being?
Yeah, hence what I'm saying. Like I think like now because now before um, say when men used to go to work, they would first pick up the newspaper, for instance. So there was no need for them to try and
Yes.
source information digitally or any sort of way, right? But now, because everything is
Mm.
centralized onto our
Mm.
phones, um, I don't need to watch the
Mm.
news. I don't need to read the newspaper. I don't need to anything of that is like that we're used to getting information from traditionally. I don't need to consume that anymore. I just need my phone and I can continue about my day.
Mm. And internet.
Yes, and
Mm. Okay, guys. So we also have generational influence, you know. You realize that today's generation is more accustomed to digital media and they've actually become key drivers of its growth. They actively engage in content creation, sharing, and consumption across digital platforms, which accelerates adoption of new media formats, you know, be it your podcast, your live streaming, and so forth. And you realize that nowadays we also rely on gadgets a lot than we would rely on human beings. I mean, for example, if you are looking for a direction here or you are having an interview, it will be easier for you to check on Google Maps than to ask someone on the street, like, where is this building? I don't know if I'm making any sense. That's how our lives are also becoming digitalized. And this would make sense to people like Kofi Annan. Kofi Annan, who was the Secretary General of the United Nations, he said that the internet is actually becoming a basic need. Remember, from an academic point of view, a basic need is something that you cannot live without. And the basic need that we have grown to know is food, shelter, education. So they are basic need, a basic human right. However, electricity and the internet are also becoming basic needs. That's why I asked you guys, and Matomi answered this, that you don't seem to think that you can survive without the internet. That's how it shows how a necessity the internet is. So the internet is no longer a want. The internet is actually a need, and it can also drive most of the basic things that I've mentioned, like education. The internet is a driver for education. Right now, we are engaging on an education level. We are using the internet. We are getting connected using the internet. So the internet itself then becomes part of the culture. The media that we consume define our lives. Yes, Maeso?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on about it's also becoming it's also leaning towards careers as well, because a lot of people are
Mm,
now becoming podcasters and
mm,
also influencers, streaming on Twitch, um, becoming YouTubers now. It's it's also become a thing where traditional jobs like just going out and being in an office is becoming I won't necessarily say obsolete, but it's just with Gen Z, it's becoming less of that.
mm. That's true. So it's generating new forms of income, digital media. You realize that more people are now, so you can actually commercialize digital media and start earning a living from it. That's what we are looking at now, which is e-commerce. People are actually generating content. Think about OnlyFans. It's one forms of individualized e-commerce where people are selling user-generated content. I don't know if you guys are well aware of OnlyFans. Because most people wouldn't talk about OnlyFans concerning the morality of it and so forth. But as digital marketers, we look at everything regardless of what society think about it. Okay, so then we have got e-commerce. Digital media also allows, as Maeso said, uh, transactions to take place. Think about Facebook Marketplace. I'm not sure yet if you can sell on TikTok and Twitter, but WhatsApp also does have WhatsApp business, right? I just don't know how it works, but I know that WhatsApp is also being commercialized to giving opportunities for people to generate a living through WhatsApp business. So digital media is in a way cost effective and provides a more for the alternative to digital marketing channels such as print and TV. So, you can be able to get measurable results, being able to sell without having a physical shop. You can sell online without having a physical shop. You can huge brands like your Takealot, like your Amazon. So digital media also support the growth of e-commerce, or what I would call social commerce, such as increased online shopping, changes in consumer spending habits, all sorts of these things, because I'm talking about the things that we all witness on a daily level. So we are actually living a theory here. It's not something that is only coming across in textbooks or in academic papers. It's something that we actually live in, something that can be exercised, and something that you can be able to adopt. I don't know if you guys do now understand the economic factors influencing digital media. Do you get it, guys? All right, there's now a new form that is emerging because digital media is now being used widespread adoption of media, digital media. It also means that there are regulatory factors that also influence digital media. So much regulation, so much compliance, and so forth. For example, with all these things that are happening, identity theft, uh, privacy issues, so forth. Also means that now we need to be concerned about data privacy. There was a be criminalized as because now you have got also people who illegally recording their partners, then they would publish that content either without their partners' consent. Yes, Matome?
Your audio is not clear anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Let
if it's the
me
same
mute.
for my ISO, but it's delayed
How about now?
and it's cutting in between.
Yeah, it's fine now. It was just it was buffering in the beginning, but now it's fine.
Okay, yeah, I think it's these rains that are spontaneous outside, like they come and go. But I hope I'll keep changing my positions here. Hope that my router is going to capture me because I'm actually very close to it. Can you guys hear me loud now, clear? Loud and clear. Okay. So I was saying that so much infringement is happening on the digital landscape. You've got revenge porn, you've got identity theft, you've got scamming and hacking, all those stuff, and you realize that some countries are actually catching up to this prevalence of social or digital media, not just social media. So you've got your Poppy Acts that are now being in place. I know that revenge porn was actually made a law because there are also people who are getting money or views online, illegally recording their partners, consent, or as part of vengeance, sharing sex tapes or something that we call sex leaks. So all those things are also shaping the landscape of digital. I don't know if you guys are well aware of that. Are you aware of the regulatory environment, guys?
Yeah, I'm fully aware of it. Um, I'm even aware of like how uh, there's certain there's certain bylaws that you sign every time you sign up, like even on like a social media. So if you create,
Mm.
uh, say, artwork and you post it on what's this, Twitter X, without a disclaimer, then Twitter can reuse that image without paying you. So
Okay,
uh,
that's interesting. I never heard about that one.
yeah, it's not something that they tell you. Like every time they upgrade their bylaws and so forth, there's people that will highlight what was changed uh, about that. So, like also even with Facebook, uh, they have also done the same thing. Once they changed the company from Facebook to Meta. Meta is which owns Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. They are now able to sell your habits of how you use all three platforms to their to marketing companies and so forth to make secondary income from that.
Advertisers, yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm very much aware of like the laws that
Okay.
govern parts of the internet and so forth, and how certain people have also found loopholes that they can use to monetize themselves as well.
Yeah, that's what we call policies. So what you are talking about are platforms policies. For example, if you are posting insightful content on Facebook, they can even block you. I mean, that's why Trump was blocked initially on Twitter. I don't know if he's back. Then the national legislation like your Poppy Act, and so forth, that you can also be caught out of line, then you can be posted. I mean, how many people have been caught online for being called Facebook rapists and so forth?
Yeah, and there's also
Then,
the defamation of character thing about not saying
yes,
allegedly and saying that somebody has done something without saying allegedly and so forth. Yeah, and also
yes,
like,
that's correct.
and then also in some countries, on social media platforms, you're not allowed to talk about like the government and or
China, mhm.
criticize the government or even share any information about the country to outsiders or so forth. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. And also, you cannot use other people's copyrighted information. For example, on Instagram, I think they do not allow you to use someone's songs. For example, your artists, be it your Java or your DJ Tira, you can't just use their songs. You need to declare that you do not have copyright rights to that song. I don't know if you guys are aware of that.
Yeah, it's not just Instagram. It's all social media platforms. I think the only one that's not really strict on it is what's this? It's X. But even
Mm,
on YouTube, if you don't have a disclaimer with the music that you're using is somebody else's, your video, you'll find it taken down. Even if it doesn't get
mm.
taken down after a day, it can be even after a week. And then Same thing with Facebook, same thing with Twitter, I mean, with Instagram and so forth. So yes, you do have to have a disclaimer when you're using other people's stuff. And then if you are putting on your own original work and you don't want other people to use it for their own monetary value, you also have to put your own copyright disclaimer there so that they can't.
So you can ring fence your invention.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So a lot of people don't know this, so they just share stuff on social media. Like there's this guy that shared a taxi app situation on TikTok, and then right now there's a guy that's actually partnered up with the South African Taxi Association to bring about that app. It's not the guy that shared the information on TikTok.
Yeah, that's very true. And also, you cannot diss out your competitors using digital media. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, even though it's country specific. So there are laws that apply that you cannot talk bad about Pepsi if you're Coca-Cola, for example. So yeah, as digital marketers, then it becomes our duty to understand the regulatory environment, the factors that influence digital media, so that we are well aware, especially the content that we create, the content that we share. Is it legally protected and so forth? Then, of course, we have got globalization. I'm sure this is the word that we've heard on several occasions. So with globalization, we look at cross-border connectivity and we look at cultural exchange as well. Think about the things that are happening in Nigeria or elsewhere in the world, and how they would then influence other aspects of the world. I mean, think about the song Jerusalem by Master KG and that lady, I forgot her name. How, as a result of globalization, it was trending across the globe with that dance during COVID-19. I don't know if you're aware of that, guys. The Jerusalem challenge.
I'm very aware of that. I think almost everyone is. It was a global thing.
Some of us, even today, we still struggle with those dance moves because we don't even know when is the time to now turn. You do your 3 steps, then you go behind. But you'd even see people who have got both legs, if you get what I mean. That's how we would describe people who do not know how to dance. We say that they are two left-handed. In my language, we call them izigcamu, someone who can dance. They also try to follow, to listen to that media, being that song and dance, even Asian countries, European countries, Brazilian countries, That's how globalization would also influence the consumption of media. And also, globalization also fuel cultural exchanges. When people connect globally, they exchange ideas, cultural norms, the attires, how they wear, how they practice online. All of a sudden, you also have what I would call an online language, calling something Black Twitter, that digital media language, if I put it that way. So it is fueled by globalization. I don't know if that makes sense. Mm. And some things can also trend and become a meme. All of a sudden, it's something that goes viral and even get used in digital marketing campaigns. So these are the factors that I wanted to share with you guys so that you may understand where digital media is coming from an evolution point of view. That we've got technology that keeps evolving the nature of media itself. Think about WhatsApp, how it has evolved with time. I mean, at first it was just a tick. All of a sudden it's double tick. Now it's a blue tick. Then it's now a video conferencing platform where multiple people can actually talk. It has got status. All those things did not come at once. That's also part of the evolution of digital media from a technological point of view, because you now have more features that are making innovative content. Now people can express themselves in form of emojis. Some of emojis even today I do not understand them. And it will take those who are tech savvy, those who understand technology, to know the whole meaning of all the emojis that are being shared out there, since some of them also have double meanings. For example, you cannot be eating an orange or a peach, then saying that you're eating a peach, and then you share that peach emoji. What message are you sending out there, guys? But literally, you will be saying the truth thing. You will be honest. You are eating a peach. That's a peach that you are eating in real life, and you are sharing that, expressing yourself. That's not the digital um, landscape language. People would think, you are having something. Matome is laughing out there. So people would actually say you are having something, because a peach, it's actually now something taboo to say, because it means something else. I remember there was a choir WhatsApp group where people could express themselves, and there's this old lady, whatever she says, I don't know where she got it, but she used to put those two cherries. The fruits, guys, the cherries. Until one of these fresh choir members told her that, do you know that these cherries mean something else to others? So you must try by all means to desist, use these word cherries. And she didn't know, and she asked, only to find that those cherries, according to someone who experienced it, means balls. And I also didn't know that. I was actually innocent. I actually learned from that. So it means that all these features that are coming up, as marketers, you also need to understand them. Otherwise, you don't want consumers to call you out. You think you are creating compelling content representing your brand, not knowing that the emoji that you've used, whether it's a brinjal or whatever it is, it's sending a wrong message to your target audience. So we need to understand all these factors. What I'm trying to say, guys, my apologies for the examples that I'm using, but you need to understand the landscape as brands. You need to understand how digital media is evolving, knowing the language, knowing the intricacies of the platform, so that you may be able to have a mutual understanding with your audience. Because at the end of the day, the meaning that you are sending out, the expected meaning, should reach the target audience the same way. So you do not want lost meaning. Lost meaning means that you are also losing sales. Do you agree or do you disagree, guys? So that's how digital marketing matters. You can't just say that we are going on with digital media there and then we want to engage with customers. Let's research, understand the nature of media. Let's understand the regulatory environment. Let's understand the social cultural factors. Let's understand globalization and its impact and so forth. Let's also understand diversity. Let's understand heritage. There are so many factors that we could talk about, guys, that were not on these slides, but they always contribute to how a brand is going to effectively engage with its audience and ultimately uh, have conversion, convert audiences into customers, have customer loyalty, and have customer retention. So that's all that I had for you guys today. Lesson 10, lesson 11, and lesson 12. Are there any questions? Now I'm asking for everything that we have discussed. Are there any additions? Are there any comments? Are you all good, Matome? Okay, perfect, guys. So we'll meet again on Tuesday next week, where we are going to dig deeper now. Remember, we're talking about the macro factors. So these are general factors that we're looking at. We are going to continue to look at how digital media keeps changing. Now looking at the market environmental influences, the role that it plays on digital media. For example, the monopoly that Meta is having, or the monopoly that Elon Musk is having on Twitter. You know, we need to talk about those things. I mean, if you have got 3 platforms under one ownership, does that change the digital media landscape? Matome mentioned something about, you know, Meta being able to utilize data across 3 platforms. So we are going to discuss that next week on Tuesday. Thank you so much, guys. If there are any questions, please do not hesitate to WhatsApp me. So if there are questions, for example, related to the